Zavana is 11 years old and is a proud Aboriginal woman. She has known Logan Central as her home and her entire existence. Zavana loves this place where she lives and grows. Zavana's talk is about children and the mental and physical abuse through substances and disorders being diagnosed too young when our feelings don't get work properly. Zavana is motivated by the opportunity to get out there and share what she thinks is important. Zavana wants to let everyone know what is happening with the children today. Please give a warm welcome to big-hearted Zavana.
Hello, I am Savannah and I am here to talk about Our Ways, the children's voice today. There are some kids ages 9 to 11 years old doing self-harm and getting diagnosed with an ED or depression. For those who don't know what ED is, it's an eating disorder or other diagnosis. Over the past year, watching my friends become as their parents, vaping, smoking or stealing alcohol from the fridge. They are changing and so is their voices and so is their personality. Watching them do that and watching what they are becoming is getting really confusing to see how they are and were. So we've got to be careful how we act around them, how our ways are changing their ways. It's making them confused on how to act. It's getting to their heads mentally and sometimes physically. It's making them act as much older as they are now, acting as some adults are acting today. For what I am saying, we should bring back the old ways, where there was no fighting around the children, no smoking, nothing, no giving or letting your children vape, smoke or drink alcohol. It's messing with them mentally and sometimes physically and challengingly. The children growing up with vapes, getting serious bad habits, doing real damage to their bodies. Some schools and news are always reporting the dangers of vaping. I'm going to quote Martin Luther, "For where God built a church, the devil will build a chapel." Pills, tablets are also a fact. Vaping, alcohol, smoking, crime waves in young youth as young as 10. It's cultural. There is no place you can go that is not already there. As a child, our number one teachers are you. At home, what we see, we do. Kids think drugs and alcohol are cool and it makes you hard. An adult can look after themselves, but only to be poisoning them further and leading them into harm and physical health problems. Children see other older siblings, parents, and extended family and follow the same brick road. Drugs, crime, and alcohol come from what should be a safe place. Parents are not able to control their own children as they begin to fall into a self-reflection of you. The most common juvenile crime among youth is larceny, stealing from people and stores. In the most recent times, they are now killing, ripping women from cars, stealing cars with babies in them. I walk the streets and see the homes that are left empty and smashed up inside out. Broad daylight, there is no place they aren't afraid to go. 7 youth are always getting reports in by thousands daily. Parents cannot do anything about that. They can't punish their children. So they go on getting away with murder. Drugs, alcohol, vapes, they are the new school, the new cool thing. The rise of young girls underdressing, being on social media, going to parties, drinking. Spike in teenage pregnancy rose in COVID lockdown. A lot of 14 to 15-year-old girls now are having babies. They can't look after themselves. The rise of babies being underweight from young mothers, the youth now got the standards of an adult. From watching how adults are, whether it's at an event, football game, soccer, tennis, at the shop, in the house, or down the street, in school, even on social media. And how you act is how they are acting. Kids are roaming the streets more, not playing, no balls, no rioting, just stealing. Breaking into people's homes, terrorizing the people, to even the murder. This is their future. Children are growing up faster, hitting puberty at a very young age. Some girls I know won't even tell their mother that they have their periods. Alcohol and drugs are affecting kids in so many ways, mentally and physically and challengingly. Kids are given a device to play at a young age, but are learning too much from these. Parents scream at their children for their children to scream right back. Let's talk about self-deception in a person. Social media. No one is who they really are. Self-deception of their own identity and their lives. What is expecting to be expected? The abuse and self-harm I talk about is self-destruction. Of the damage these kids, teenagers and adolescents, are doing to themselves. Vapes, smokes, drugs, and alcohol. Social media are all a part of the train derailing of their mental health. Self-harm, being on the drug ice, and committing crimes. Even the murder of a young mother to all the damage that they do, you cannot see their thoughts. Words are also a factor, that they can come from a teacher, a family member, a carer, or a complete stranger. Remember, what you say sticks. In the past, we have the stolen generation. Kids of today will be known as the lost generation before we find ourselves. The lost generation. How many kids must we lose? How many must we lose from drugs and crime? Foreseeable unfortunate events. Social media to promote teens, so much influence on these children, teen, even adults. It starts with the device when they are babies, toddlers, infants. Children of today have seen lockdown way before COVID, used to communicating through a device, that they no longer play or meet up. Kids are being diagnosed with ADHD and depression, insomnia, put on medication. This is simply not how we fix it. Females are reported to have higher mental health at a young age. I think that phones and devices have no place for children. The toolbar lets you search anything. The news gives the people the information they need for the next hit, and saying that they are talking of rich communities. Vigilantes are now forming to protect what is theirs. Some suburbs are hiring their own security guards to patrol the streets at night and morning. The silence is much louder than the noise. We need to understand them better. They need a friend. Some of these children, as young as 5 to 17 years old, are being diagnosed with ADHD and are prescribed as young as 5 with small strengths of risperidone. Kids can gain a lot of weight, which can lead to diabetes and heart disease. It is not good for their motivation. Not only risperidone, young teenagers are being treated with a prescription called benzodiazepine to treat such things as schizophrenia. A sedative drug in studies hits its peak in 1950s. And biggest yet, in 2019, the most common typical antipsychotic tablet. These tablets are strong, and even for some adults. I want to talk about mirroring, the behavior of which one person subconsciously imitates the gesture, speech pattern, traits, or attitude of another. Children are getting put on serious medication because they are misunderstood. The numbers of young teens abusing the prescribed medication and doing more damage and harm, that comes with no morals. No respect. In time, life has become too easy for some people, that they have forgotten about the old days, why we have the life we have, what sacrifices had been made for such comfortable living. Youth crime has gone up by numbers, no matter what they say, no matter what the news say. These kids are not just from a bad background, they are from all backgrounds. Crime is on the rise. Is anyone in charge? Is there a reason for them acting like this, vandalizing and terrorizing their communities, murdering people on the rampage? Drugs, ice, and alcohol are a big factor in this crime. Primary schools have been having issues with vaping students. They find it hard to fit in, and they start forming relationships early. High school is seeing less students enrolling in year 7. Crime is in youth age 11 to 14 has risen. Teenagers are being given up on way too easy. They have bad days, and school kicks them out. only to find themselves in the streets, no further education. Other places, all the bad kids are sent to Center Ed boys. YMCA. While these people are helping, there is no rescue for these people. Why is it okay to give up on them, I ask you? Are they not worthy of possessing a good quality life? These kids come from all backgrounds. If they do not get saved now, these children, the youth, nothing will save them. The majority of children, the youth, will have been lost or buried before their times. Nobody is watching them. Nobody is paying attention just to their own fixed lives. In recent, 5 teenagers, 4 found dead, 1 fighting for life in hospital. Speeding and filming it moments before the crash. Sydney CBD building set alight to 2 teenage boys, 12 to 17 arson. Girls being hit and sleepover. When will it ever stop? When is it enough? How many lives will be lost to this tragedy? I would like to read something I wrote. Self-harm poetry. Notice. The knife that draws into my skin, the cut classified as a sin. When will you ever learn, they say, but when will it ever be my turn? Your blood running through our children's veins. What will you do when blood rains? 1 knife, 2 arms, 1 cut, thousands of scars. Yeah.